to the Pop, hosted by me, Mariah. Today's February 13th, and it's kind of cold. It's snowing, first of all, and I had no idea it was going to snow. Yesterday it was like 50 degrees, and now it's snowing. And I honestly think that's crazy. Also, today I'm drinking a London Fog, but it's all the way over there. And I don't feel like getting up to get it, so I'll just finish it later. But, happy beginning of the week, guys. It's exciting. I'm looking for something because I need to, but, I don't know what it's under in my email. So, that's not it. I do know what it's under, but I have to think about it. It is, found it in my head. But it's crazy. I think that 2022 is going a little quicker than I thought. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So, February is Black History Month, and this kind of, I don't feel bad saying it, but some of y'all are gonna take it the wrong way. It's Black History Month. I don't celebrate Black History Month, and it's going to be a little controversial, whatever, but I just don't. I personally think that, we should be talking about all the stuff we talk about during Black History Month every month, so why I don't understand the point of Black History Month. Black history just should be taught, and that's what we should be working towards instead of having a month. I don't see the point of it, and that's that. Anyway, back to our regular scheduled programming. February is actually an important month for me because this is my adoption month. So I was officially adopted February 9th, 1999. That was 6 months after I was born. Hold on. I was born in October. So November, December, January, February. 4 months after I was born. I was officially adopted in the state of New York by Linda and Frederick, if we want to be, proper. Linda and Frederick, February 9th, 1999. So that was a couple days ago. I was just looking up at my adoption papers because I was never told the official date growing up. So in 2018, I got that information. And so it's not something that I know off the top of my head because it wasn't really talked about growing up. Even though I do believe it should have been. So the point of this podcast episode is kind of my tips for parents who are adopting kids as an adoptee. Because there are people out there that are just not cut out for it, and you learn as you go, or some of you don't learn as you go, and stuff happens, but we got to keep moving on. So why not learn from the past experiences, help other people grow, and go from there. So my number one lesson as an adoptee for parents who are either thinking about adopting or have adopted already. I have to sit like this because Sam told me that there's a hole in these pants, and I just haven't changed. I don't feel like changing, but I can't I can't sit comfortably. But let me, there we go. This is not comfortable either, but it's fine. I the number one lesson for people who are thinking about adopting or have adopted is you better have so much love in your heart, because it is going to be the hardest, most trying part of life. And some people are just not ready to love. They're not ready to open their heart, open their mind, and be a parent who's there for their child. You have to have an open mind. I think that's the first one. Have an open mind, because one, your adopted child is most likely not gonna look like you, act like you, think like you. They're coming from a whole different gene pool. So of course, a lot of things are going to be different, and you're going to try to mold them into what you want them to be. That does work. Just saying. There is this thing called nature versus nurture. And the nature of that child is not going to change. It will always be there, no matter how hard you try to suppress it. The nature of the child is always going to be there. So you have to have an open mind and make sure you are nurturing the nature of that child. While they're both equally important, nurturing a child who is not yours is difficult for many people, and it's understandable. You know, are trying to make sure this child has the best life, and of course love them dearly, and care about them. But love is unconditional, and that's something that I've learned from my faith. Love is unconditional, and you have to make sure that you can love unconditionally before you adopt a child. Wow, I just covered 2 points. So yeah, that was 2 points. Have an open mind, because nurturing and nurturing a child are two very different things, but you have to be able to do both cohesively. And second, love unconditionally. Your child is your child, but they're also their own person, and you're trying to forge a connection with them, but not only a connection, let them form a connection with themselves and who they are as people. And that's where that love comes in, because they'll know that you will always love them no matter what. When they don't know that, that's when issues start happening, and that's when you can ruin that child's life by not letting them know they're loved unconditionally. And if you can't love them unconditionally, some of you are very open about that, and that's a good thing. But then you shouldn't be having children or adopting a child. If you cannot love unconditionally, you should not be adopting a child. If you cannot be open-minded and nurture their nature, you should not be having a child or adopting a child. And I think a lot of people who are adopting think that they have to have a lot of money. And, for my situation, my mom didn't have the money to take care of me. She had, I think it was like around 5 kids before me. She didn't have the money to take care of me. And so all these people are thinking that they need to have money to take care of them, like kids, and that's what's going to make them better parents than their biological ones. Nope. I can tell you that right now. Having money does not make you a better parent. Being able to give them a life that's full of privileges, which I was lucky enough to have, does not mean you're going to be a great parent. It doesn't. It's nice to be able to give them that and have the possibility of giving them so much more than they could ever imagine. It's nice. It's great, but it's not what makes you a parent. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Yes, you're giving this child so much more than they could ever ask for. Even before, like, for me, I had no idea what was going on. I was 6 months old. How was I supposed to know? But in the long run, you look back and you're like, yeah, but we missed out on a whole connection that was supposed to have been had, and that's what's supposed to happen between a parent and a child, and it just didn't. And I can blame them for some things, because there are a few issues that I'll talk about later in the podcast that unforgivable, but there are some things like you can't control. You're going in, especially if your first child is your adopted child, you're going in not having parenting skills set up. You're going in kind of blindsided because now you have to raise someone else's child. You don't know what kind of environment they were in before, so it's hard. And there's some things that can be forgiven, but a lot of things that cannot be. And so please, before you get into adopting children, think about yourself, think about your own personal traumas, think about how you love. And if you're not in that state of mind yet, please do not do it, because there are kids out there that should not be affected by your personal trauma because you don't know how to deal with it. It's not fair. Ow. It's not fair, and you're like, oh, I'm taking them out of a worse situation. No, you're kind of putting them in a worse situation, because emotional trauma lasts a lot longer than physical trauma, and if you're giving them both, well, oof, there's scars everywhere. We'll just say that. But anyway, yeah, so I think the two lessons from today are, as a person adopting another human life, please love unconditionally. Please know how to nurture the nurture of the child and have an open mind, or else you're kind of just creating a worse situation, which is bad. It's terrible. But yeah, that's my spiel. You guys know what, though, what's also been bothering me this week, not just like the whole adoption thing, because that's kind of been on my mind a lot, but Kanye and Kim, you guys need to like chill out. Like, all these posts about you guys, let's keep it private, let's keep the kids happy, let's not put all this nonsense out there. Like, it's terrible. You guys, I'm not a fan right now. And it's not even Kim, it's Kanye's nonsense that he's pulling. And I understand we have mental health issues, Kanye. But some of the stuff you're saying, the stuff you're doing, I cannot. And also, for the media outlets that are covering all of this, guys, what are you doing? Like, there's so many more important good things happening in the world. Why are we covering this nonsense and giving him more fuel to, I don't know. Like, yikes. Yikes is, oh, excuse me. So please stop. We don't want to see it anymore. I think we're all kind of fed up with it. But yeah, that's my Sunday sips for today.